I'm not just happy, I'm Happow.
This is Power Up Life, the podcast. I'm your host, Gianna Lucas, co-founder and CEO at Happow, the social enterprise that powers this podcast. We help you slay life in high school, uni, and beyond. Each week on the show, you'll learn epic life skills in a super chill way. Hear from well-known legends as they reveal their biggest setbacks and milestones to date, and you'll find out what our Happow squad think about a whole stack of topics too. From epic challenges to super raw moments, this show has it all. So let's power up life! I'm so thrilled to introduce you to this week's guest on Power Up Life. She's one extraordinarily talented boss babe, advocate, and much more. Her name is Marlee Silva, a Gamilaroi and Dungardie woman who's co-founder of Titters for Titters, a social media initiative which is dedicated to celebrating Indigenous women and girls through storytelling. Marlee is a breath of fresh air. She's so funny and so wise, an exceptional human who also happens to be a speaker, author, and host of the super successful Always Was, Always Will Be Our Stories podcast. Oh yeah, and she also happens to be a Happow ambassador as well, might I add. Marlee is a true inspiration. Despite lacking confidence in high school, she decided to push through in order to pursue her dreams despite her fears. And look at her now. It just goes to show who you think you are in high school in no shape determines your future. And that's something to get excited about. By the way, if you're keen to know the challenge we went head-to-head with, we played Heads Up. No pun intended. Anyway, enough from me. Let's power up life. And now I have Marlee with me at home in her bedroom. Apparently it's freshly painted. Very nice, Marlee. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. I mean, this is part of the silver lining of this downtime. Very proactive. I think I've been talking about repainting my room for about 2 years. So we're doing it. It's a great time. It's great to be with you today.
And I can see behind you, the walls are very white. Are you going for that sort of Scandinavian aesthetic?
Oh, yep. You're giving me much more credit than I probably deserve. Yeah, just going real fresh white. And actually the wall that I'm looking at, so you can't see, is going to be a feature wall purple, actually.
Oh, purple. Is that your favorite color?
It's not, but I just think it's going to look really nice. Like my favorite color is blue, and I want purple.
You want purple?
Yeah, I want purple. It's weird.
Well done for stepping out of your comfort zone during
Exactly.
COVID-19. It's a great thing. It brings out the best in many of us. So obviously it's bringing out the best of you, your adventurous side. As I said, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'd love to firstly ask you, did you always dream about creating a social platform, a movement like you have?
I don't know if I've always dreamed to build something myself, but I've always been driven towards being parts of movements like the one that I've ended up creating. I'm very lucky in the sense that I've been raised in a household where I've always known I'm Aboriginal, always had an immense amount of pride instilled in me because of that. And in my parents' teaching of what that means, I've come out of it understanding that being an Aboriginal woman is the greatest honor in my life. So even in high school, I was always putting my hands up to volunteer for particular Aboriginal organisations, be involved in lots of different youth and leadership opportunities as a young Aboriginal person who had a voice. I nearly said it was confident and had a voice, but as a teenager, I definitely wasn't confident, but I just really enjoyed public speaking and felt more comfortable doing that, which is a bit strange. But
you knew you would have a voice one day.
Maybe
You're
it
preparing
was the
yourself.
ancestors telling me. The ancestors telling me,
Yeah.
get on stage, you'll be right, you're going to be fine. And then once I left school, my first job, well, aside from waitressing, was for an Aboriginal nonprofit that worked with Indigenous high school kids. And I found my love there, and working with kids that reminded me of me so much, and being able to kind of help them realize how amazing they are and their potential was a real gift. So I did that for a long time, did that for most of my university degree.
What did you actually study? Sorry, don't mind me asking.
Yes. So I did my Bachelor of Creative Art majoring in creative writing at the University of Wollongong, and then came up to the University of Technology, Sydney, and did my honours there in communications. So a whole bunch of things that people tended to laugh at and go, oh, good luck getting a job.
You proved them
So
wrong.
so I basically turned around and went, well, I made one for myself. So it was in that last year of study, in that honours year, where because of all the opportunities that I'd been kind of putting my hand up for and really diving into without hesitation since I was about 15, I'd been come out of it pretty strong in, I guess, skills that are quite entrepreneurial without me having realized. And so 2018, the NAIDOC theme was Because of Her We Can.
And what is NAIDOC for people who don't know?
Of course, NAIDOC is the premier celebration of Indigenous cultures that happens annually. It is a week usually held in July, but because of COVID, it's actually been pushed back, which is crazy. I don't think that's ever happened before. I call it the Black Christmas. It's the best time. You know, there's big events. There's the NAIDOC ball. There's a
ball? Like a full-on ball?
There's a full-on ball with
it's
awards.
More like Cinderella as well, and Christmas combined.
Oh yeah, and you should see the outfits are amazing, especially because we have such amazing Aboriginal designers. I can't remember where I was I was in Europe for the NAIDOC ball last year, so I saw lots of pictures from it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, we are the best ever. Very biased, obviously, but so there's a theme associated with NAIDOC week every year.
Yeah, and
it kind of dictates a lot of the community grassroots action that happens around it. So this year is Always Was, Always Will Be. That's a great theme. I think, you know, we say that quite a bit, and talks about our, you know, the land that we walk on always having been Aboriginal land, or if you're in the islands, Torres Strait Islander land, and waterways. And in 2018, it was Because of Her We Can, which saw our women
feminist as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And our culture is traditionally matriarchal. Well, there are different mobs who some are patriarchal lines and some are matriarchal. But there is a very strong presence of female leadership throughout our history, throughout our 80,000-year history, not just the last, you know, couple of centuries. So it kind of was a no-brainer to see our women celebrated in this way, and a lot of their stories were revealed that we hadn't heard before or hadn't been championed in the same way that a lot of our sportsmen are these days.
In NAIDOC 2018, you're saying?
Yeah. So, I mean, NAIDOC is 1 week technically, but the whole year and a lot of community events that sit around it are dictated by that theme, which is amazing. You know, there's beautiful content coming out online all the time around that period of interviews with women in different communities. And I was doing my research at the time on the representation of Indigenous women on film and television. Because of my writing background, I was writing a film script at the same time. And so my accompanying research was like, hey, you know, there's these examples of, you know, a Baz Luhrmann trying to write an Aboriginal woman, and a Warwick Thornton trying to write an Aboriginal woman who's an Aboriginal man. And neither of them fit quite right because neither of them are Aboriginal women. So my rebuttal and
your thesis.
My thesis was that in order for us to reach true and genuine representation, our Aboriginal women, not on screen, not only have to be played by Aboriginal women, but have to be written and directed by them as well. I was really just plugging my own work, obviously.
As you do.
And so once I finished that, quite literally after I'd submitted my thesis, because, you know, I mean, normal people would just try and take a few weeks to relax because, you know, doing a whole year of research is pretty exhausting. But I was like, oh my gosh, momentum, you know, we're getting towards the end of this NAIDOC theme. We're getting towards the end of seeing our women celebrated. I need to do something. And I think that's where all those skills that I'd been acquiring kicked in. And I went, I've got to do something myself. And I was playing with all these different ideas, and I was like, okay, what's something I can do like right now that I don't need a lot of preparation for, that I have the skill set for already, that is, you know, really easily accessible by as many people as possible, and, you know, I have full control over. And it became quite obvious when I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is look at my phone, which is a terrible habit. It's
we are all guilty, Marlee.
But we all do it.
We all do.
That's okay. So I'm happy that now when I do that, the first thing I do is, if I've pre-written the post that I want to post that day, I just click post, or I write the post. And so it's a nice thing to just write something beautiful about an Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander woman. So, but yeah, that's what I did. I said, okay, I'm going to start an Instagram page. And I told my sister, I said,
And your sister's Keely, isn't that right?
yes,
Keely, yeah.
yes, that's her name, Marlee Silva. She's 23 months younger than me. And people often think she's older, but I think that's purely because she's a lot taller than me. But when I tell the story of kind of me sitting across from her at breakfast and going, I have this idea and you're going to do it with me, people realize that I'm the older sister in that kind of,
You
you're
don't
in,
get a
mate.
choice.
Yeah. And she has seen me have ridiculous ideas all the time. Like a week after I said to her, I have this idea, we're actually coaching an under 18s girls team at the OzTag World Cup a week after. That
It's like
came
full on
from,
professional sport right there.
oh, that's a bit of a stretch to say professional, but I mean, it has it's big. It is
It's
big.
big.
It's kind of just on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. But yeah, the World Cup is really cool. We do have representation from genuinely from a lot of different countries. We had the Irish team, French team,
Okay, so it's professional sport. It's professional.
It's
Take it.
not, though, but okay. But
So you were
we,
launching Titter for Titters and
well,
this at the same time?
yeah. So we've been working with these young girls for a while, and I'd been, because I do I go a bit above and beyond with a lot of stuff in our kind of coaching, managing positions with them. On our Facebook group, I'd been setting challenges for them to see how fast they could do 10 burpees and record and post it. And I wrote profiles for them all and sent them a little handbook of get to know your teammates before we get up there and all this kind of stuff, and interacting with them. And again, essentially looking at my younger self in that way really was inspiring me as well. But my point of mentioning that was that, yes, it partly played into me going, okay, I have to do it now in terms of launching Titters for Titters, because I could see how hungry these girls were for role models. I mean, growing up, we all have role models that it's easier for me to kind of see who I was looking up to now, but for the
Who
most
were
part,
you looking up to?
male footballers. In terms of Aboriginal role models, that's what I was looking at, because that's all I could see. And I mean, it also helps that my dad was a professional footballer and kind of fits into the stereotype of Indigenous success, because we've had a very privileged upbringing because my dad played in the NRL for 14 years. But both my parents grew up in Housing Commission in Western Sydney, had nothing.
Both your parents?
Both my parents, they met at
Wow.
high school, and both of them, I don't know if part of their ability to connect to each other comes from a lot of their similar experiences, but they both had alcoholic fathers and saw domestic violence in their households and really were ambitious in making sure they built lives for their future children that were complete opposites to what they had growing up. So I think being raised by people like that who really have a good perspective on what matters. They are the hardest workers I know and remain to be. Dad actually he's a police officer, and he joined the New South Wales Police Academy in the off season when he was still playing professional rugby league, and used to do night shifts and finish at 5 a.m. and go straight to training. And it's crazy. It's so crazy. Obviously, your parents become your first role models. And then because of him, my understanding of what it means to be Aboriginal and successful was other people that were like him. I turn the TV on and I see men that look like him. And what do? They play sport. And I'm like, that's what I want to be, even though I'm not an athlete. As a teenager, when I felt inadequate because I wasn't good at sport, which doesn't make any sense because I was very good academically and very good at a lot of other things. But because I wasn't good at sport, I kind of was like, oh, I'm not gonna be great. I'm not gonna do, what my dad did because I can't throw a footy.
So you thought at that time that if you weren't in sport, then you weren't going to be successful, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. There was definitely that part of that. I mean, it wasn't a particularly loud voice, but it was there. And I think seeing the girls that we were coaching at the time in 2018 and all the other factors coming to it, I was like, oh my gosh, there are so many amazing Aboriginal women that I know of now because of the circles that I travel in and because I have my ear to the ground in terms of our Indigenous-led media and all that kind of stuff. But they're not accessible to these everyday girls unless they are part of their family or something. So I'm going to start this Instagram page and we're just going to pump out these stories. And it really was just, as much as that sounds like there's a lot of thought that goes into it, it was just a lot of no-brainers kind of going, connect the dots. And then the name came to me. So Titter means sister. It's an Aboriginal slang word that I've used always growing up. And it just made sense because, I think we'd heard statements around International Women's Day, things like women for women, girls for girls, that sort of stuff. And then we were like sisters for sisters, titters for titters. It resonates with a lot of people, regardless of whether you're Aboriginal or not. So we started it. And my sister's an artist. So she gave me an artwork to use for the logo, and I was like, oh, this looks really flash, looks really professional or whatever.
We've been around for years.
Yeah. Oh, we know exactly what we're doing. And then I remember both of us being a bit ashamed to do the first post on our personal Instagrams, to be like, go and follow this page. Because I was like, oh, I don't know if people are going to like ask me heaps of questions I don't know the answer to. And people are just going to be like, oh, what are you doing, you weirdo? I guess that voice just popped up for a minute. We had 1,000 followers in a week, 10,000 within the first 4 months. We were on the money when it comes to the fact that there wasn't, we assumed there wasn't anything else like this out there. And I'd done a bit of research and we couldn't see anything. So we were right there. And then we were also kind of lucky in the sense that a lot of people were hungry for this, and the right people got behind us. If you high profile people like your Brooke Bonies and Dr. Anita Heiss and people like that loved the page from the get-go and shared it and told people about it. And then Mia Friedman saw it, and
founder of Mamma Mia.
Yes. And
Co-founder.
she reposted us, and I just remember my phone blowing up in the middle of the night and kind of going, what the hell's going on? And she'd reposted something of ours and then, asked me over for a cup of tea. And next thing I know, I have a podcast with the Mamma Mia Network. But I don't want to act like it's just like this super easy thing that happened, or like it's just a complete fluke, because we do work. I do work very hard on it, but there's so many things that I couldn't, no amount of hard work would have got me to that without the fluke or the kind of luck in a few ways that people just backed us. So that's how we've gotten to where we are today.
And I absolutely love you sharing your story, because there's no such thing as an overnight success. There is a lot of passion and research, and you did all that. Yes, you created something, and yes, you got traction quite early, but you were following your heart. And I think there's something really powerful about following your passion. What is next for Titters for Titters?
So if it weren't for COVID, I would have just kicked off our first ever school workshops, Titters for Titters workshops. We've been in schools quite a bit speaking as guests for things like NAIDOC Week or Reconciliation Week. This is the first time that we've actually built a curriculum for young girls that it can be adapted to both Indigenous and non-Indigenous girls, in terms of, it's led very much by culture and identity, but there's opportunities to invite non-Indigenous people in so they can support their Indigenous peers, which I think is really important. And that just comes from my own experience of being one of very few identifying students at my high school. And there's definitely ways now that we're kind of exploring how we could digitalize it, maybe come up with some really cool videos to at least kick off the relationship before we can actually get into the schools. Obviously still working on the podcast, and I think it's been a year since we launched the first season, and I think we can go back and reflect and see how we can be bigger and better. The other big thing, which is more personal, I guess, for me, is that I just finished writing my debut novel.
You should be so proud of yourself. That's awesome.
I really am. It's if you'd asked 15-year-old Marlee what her big dream in life was, it was to have a book with her name on the front cover. So didn't think I'd be doing that before I'm 25, but here we are. Another one of those crazy things, the publisher, Hardy Grant Books, who have been absolutely amazing. They really took a risk on me because, for starters, they reached out to me to see if I'd be interested in doing something like this. And I was like, are you joking?
Wow. Can I just say, when a publisher reaches out to a person and not the other way around, that's even more empowering and reassuring to know that you are on the right path. That is amazing.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. At first I was like, am I being catfished? So that feels like quite surreal. And so what it is a collection of stories of different everyday Aboriginal women, not high profile ones. They're names that you would never have heard before. And they're incredibly generous and vulnerable young and older women. The youngest I interviewed was age 15 and the oldest was 86. And it's a real breadth of experience and knowledge and advice and kind of ways to sort of understand the sisterhood and what that means for all women, not just Indigenous women. And it's quite positive. There's some really insane experiences these women have had. Some of them are quite devastating and harrowing, but they just are so positive and resilient, and it's incredibly inspiring. And I can't wait for them to be celebrated. The book's going to be out in September. It's called My Titter, My Sister. Thankfully, it hasn't been affected by this. I'd finished the manuscript before we went into lockdown. This would have been a good time to finish it if I hadn't, but I did have a deadline I needed to get it in by. And I've collaborated with a few female Aboriginal artists who are phenomenal and who I've been big fans of for a long time. So that's another layer of story as well. And just so much generosity and a lot of different amazing women. So I'm really proud of it. And there's parts of my own story that are in there, but it's not really mine. It's not really about me. Yeah. And I kind of am excited to see the reaction. That's going to take us to the end of the year with the school programs and a few other things that are too much in their infancy for me to feel comfortable talking about. But yeah, it's exciting. And, I do this full time now. So I never thought I didn't think it would happen for a long time, not just in our second year, but it's wild. It's a wild, wild world.
You are definitely on the right track, Marlee. Don't go anywhere though. Right after this, we're going to talk all about gratitude.
Did you know Happow is on socials? Come and say hey. Follow us at Happow AU and be sure to check us out at happow.com. This week, we asked you what community issues matter the most to you, and here's what you had to say.
The community issues I am most passionate about are social inclusion and equality. I believe that social inclusion is like human rights, in that they are for everyone, every day and everywhere. Our differences should be celebrated and cherished, rather than used as weapons to divide.
Climate change is super important to me.
I am passionate about equal rights and voice for everyone in the community, mental health in adolescents, and the environment around us.
The whole idea of equality and equal rights is a big community issue that's important to me and needs to be resolved. Every individual deserves equal treatment, income and opportunities no matter who they identify as, their colour or how they look overall.
Mental health support, equality and action being taken on discrimination and bullying. I believe everyone in our society should feel safe, valued and accepted.
I'm passionate about empowering young people with life skills like leadership, emotional intelligence, confidence and self-love.
I don't think we can achieve meaningful participation of everyone until we are all equal.
Equal rights for everyone, with a big focus on gender inequality, as this is an issue that unfortunately is still evident in our society and something I know I've been personally affected by.
Equal rights for girls and boys. I'm also very passionate about sustainability on our Earth, keeping our planet clean and simply respecting our Earth by putting our rubbish in the bin.
I'm Carissa Shale and that's this week's talk topic. Got something to share? Drop us an email, yoursay@happow.com.
Want to power up life? Download your free Power Pack wallpapers at happow.com.
Okay, I'm very, very passionate about being grateful, being thankful for the big and small things in our life. And I ask everybody who comes onto the show these two questions. Number one, what is something big that you are grateful for? Marlee, go.
I am incredibly grateful for my family as a support network. They are the ones who've really helped build me up to be able to do everything that I do. And they believe in me and are great sounding boards, when I have all these kind of big, wild ideas. And yeah, I couldn't be where I am without them.
Beautiful. And number two, what's one small thing that you're grateful for that maybe people would take for granted, but you're like, now you can't say paint because I know you painted your wall. It's got to be something else.
I just want to say my dogs. Like, I'm really great, and it doesn't feel like a small part of my life. They are my children, but I'm I'm very grateful, and I don't think people take dogs for granted. I feel like there's a really big growing thing where dogs are just like the heroes of the world.
Oh, my dog Pip is the hero of the world. Like, she is my number one. Well, apart from Brendan, my husband, of course.
Yeah. But yeah, my dogs, especially in this downtime, like they're just the place that you go to feel happy, and just looking at their faces makes me really happy. So yeah, definitely super grateful for dogs.
So family and dogs, excellent answers. Now, how can people get in touch with you and Titters for Titters if they're like, oh, I just love what Marlee and Titters for Titters is all about?
We've started on the gram, and that's the place that we are most active, and you can slide into our DMs or email us. Our email's connected to our Instagram account anytime you want. People get confused with how you spell titters. So titter is TIDDA. So it's titters with an S. And then a number 4, because we're cool and down with the kids. Titters 4 titters. That's what we are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and the podcast, if you put that into your podcast app.
Awesome. And how can they follow you as well?
I'm also on all those platforms under my name. So I'll give you the spelling of that too. It's Marlee, like Bob Marley, but instead of EY, it's double E. And then
Nice.
Silva is like the metal, but instead of ER, it's A.
Oh, you just have to have a complicated name, don't you? Can't just be the traditional one.
Just dumb spellings of things.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Marlee. Right after this, guys, we've got the challenge. So excited about this one.
Learn epic life skills in a super chill way. Sign up for free at happow.com.
Okay, Marlee, it's time for the challenge. Do you want to know what you're going to be doing today?
Yes, I'm ready to win, whatever it is.
Okay, so we're going to play Ellen DeGeneres's Heads Up game, which is essentially celebrity heads, and it's on our phones. And because we are both at home, fortunately, we can see each other's screens without seeing ourselves. So we're going to make sure we hide our own screens, which we're doing right now. Now, how this game will work is with Heads Up. It's a free app, so guys, download it. It's awesome. You can choose different themes like superstars, blockbuster movies. You can even do like accents and impressions. But for us, you and I have to choose one theme, and we're going to do one round each where we place the phone above our head, and we've got to help the other person guess who is on our head. So if it's on my head, Marlee, you've got to help me guess the right answer. If it's on your head, I'm going to help you guess the right answer. The person with the most amount of points at the end wins. And to help us do things legal, I've got Brendan here. Say hi, Brendan. Come right into the mic.
Hey guys, hello.
Hello. So he's going to make sure that everything is above board because he's all about the policies and procedures. All right. I have hidden my view, so I shouldn't be able to see myself now.
I can't see you though.
Oh, you can't see me. Hang on.
That's important. I need to be able to see you. Otherwise, I'm definitely going to win.
Here we go. Got it. Okay, I'm disappeared now. So what would you like to do? Would you like to do superstars or blockbuster movies? You're my guest, you get to decide.
I'm going to go with movies. And I have to say, you've made a fatal error because I'm pretty good at this game. Not going to lie.
I was going to hope you would have said superstars. Shame. That's okay.
Well, I read your mind. See, it's a mind game. I'm already winning. You got to get back on top now. It's like...
All right. Do you want to go first or do you want me? Do you want on your head or my head?
I'll do it on my head.
Your
Is
head?
that all right?
Okay, so
Happy?
I'm going to help you guess. Okay, no, good start.
Let me just see. Can you see there?
I can see that.
Is that going to be fun?
Yep.
Okay, or is that better?
No, either one. I can see.
Okay.
Yeah, my eyesight is all right.
Blockbuster movies.
Yep.
Play. Are we going to do the replay thing?
No.
I don't want to do instant replay. Play some forward.
Okay, here we go. Oh, Ben Stiller movie with Robert Downey Jr. and they're set out, and I think in Vietnam in like the 1970s.
Oh,
it's a comedy.
Oh,
it's comedy.
Tropic Thunder.
Yes. Well done, you got that. Okay, things that fly in the air. They fly in the air to get people
Birds?
A to B. No, people sit in them
Planes.
to go to. Yes, yeah. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Nah, pass.
Oh no.
This is hard. Oh, Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot. She plays.
Oh, Wonder Woman.
Yep.
Wonder Woman?
Yes. Flick up again. Oh gosh, I don't know how to describe these to you. Oh, when it's the umbrellas in the sky and
Singing in the Rain?
Yeah, I'll give that one to you.
Was it Singing in the Rain?
Yes, he'll Sing in the Rain.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Brendan. How many did she get?
Marlee, you got 4 with that.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. Oh my gosh.
Do you know
should
why?
have done.
Because
Let's do the time warp.
I know, I didn't think, and I thought because some of the names were a bit more complicated, I thought, what could I say in the least amount of words as possible to give you the maximum amount of chances to win?
Right.
So you got 4. I think that's pretty good. All right, my turn now. Okay. This is intense. Can you see this? Can you see?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. Flip up. Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah. I don't know anything else. Do you know it? No, okay, flip up. Don't know that one.
Oh
Sorry.
my goodness. Okay.
Oh, it's a really beautiful film.
Beautiful film, that narrows it down.
In the Oscars, it won Best Picture, but they Oh no, it didn't win Best Picture. They said it with one Best Picture, but then it didn't. And it's about
who's in it?
Gay boys in America. It's like a gay story. It's beautiful and like flip up. It's too hard. I don't know that one either. I'm sorry. I feel like I've set you up. Oh, Gal Gadot.
Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same one.
But yes. Oh no. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Those were really hard.
I got 0. Oh, that's the worst.
You got one. You just flipped it the wrong way.
Oh, I did get one. Oh, Brendan, which one did I get?
You got Wonder Woman.
I got Wonder Woman, of course. Yeah. Okay, yes, I did get Wonder Woman. I got 1 point.
I'm so sorry.
That was you killed me there.
I'm really sorry. My explaining was terrible. Like I knew a lot of the movies, but I was like,
It's It's amazing what happens when we're under pressure. And also some of the names, like we've got to think on our feet to go, not only do we understand it, but we've got to make sure that the other person understands it too.
And I think my problem was I was focusing too much on the storylines of the film. You have to also think about, ways to get people thinking about the words in the title, if that makes sense. Like you got
without saying too much, because you can't say the name of the title. Like one of yours that I had for you was Singing in the Rain, but I couldn't say, I was going to sing, I'm singing in the rain.
And it's like, that's the title.
Yeah. So I think you did very well. You got 4, you smashed it. I got 1, but you know what? You are the interviewee, so you deserve the win anyway. So well done, Marlee.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on Power Up Life. You've been an absolute legend. Congratulations on everything that you are achieving for Titters, and we look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Thanks for having me.
Marlee, what a babe. She's all heart and absolutely hilarious. I'm so proud of her and everything she's achieving. How lucky are we to have her as a Happow ambassador? Just saying. If you would love to learn more about Marlee and Aboriginal culture and history, well, I've got some amazing news for you. In your fave podcast feed, we've dropped a super special bonus episode where Marlee and I go deep. I ask her so many questions about Indigenous culture, the things I've always wanted to learn more about. So keep on the lookout for that as it drops the same day as this episode of Power Up Life. Love this episode of Power Up Life? Why not leave a rating and review on your favourite podcast app? By doing so, you're helping us reach even more people just like you. Want to be a Happow advocate and contribute to our weekly talk topics and more? Email us at yoursay@happow.com. Don't forget to follow us on socials. Simply look up Happow AU to follow us and stay in the know. This episode of Power Up Life was produced by me, Gianna Lucas, Maria Dukadinovska, and Carissa Shale for the Happow Podcast Network. Thanks for tuning into this week's episode of Power Up Life, a Happow podcast. If you loved this episode, be a legend and leave us a quick rating and review on your fave podcast app. Dive into the show notes for all episodes on our website, happow.com/podcast. Catch you next time, and remember to Power Up Life!